Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Boy, oh boy, Bloomberg has for years been talking about how, Volkswagen is going to take over Tesla as the most dominant EV play. Now look, I have my criticisms of some things at Tesla, but I think any prudent long-term investor should. You don't want to be blindly bullish, and you want to identify potential pitfalls, right? And this is what we have previously done. But this video is all about analyzing how wonderful Tesla is in the fact that it doesn't have the Volkswagen problem. Folks, Mr. Deese, the CEO of Volkswagen, was just completely blindsided last week on Thursday when essentially the families in charge of running Volkswagen and the union leaders in charge of running Volkswagen got together at a battery plant opening and basically acted like all was good with the CEO to his face. But then after that, had their own meeting amongst their families and decided the Volkswagen CEO is getting the boot. And instead, they're going to install the CEO of Porsche as the CEO of both companies, especially since they ultimately want to IPO Porsche as a separate company to help them raise capital in an IPO. That's what you do. You raise capital and further their EV developments. But what was the big problem? Well, it turns out the big problem had to do with disagreements over how their software, their internal software company, was going to actually operate and coordinate between the various different vehicle makes that they had. For example, there were requests that Porsche was making that were different from what Volkswagen was making. And this reminds me of the fragmentation days of Microsoft. And it's one of the reasons I've never invested in Microsoft. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Microsoft has a lot of benefit to it. It's obviously performed extremely well. So I don't want to be someone to say, that's it, I'm here to poop on Microsoft. But Microsoft has always had a fragmentation issue, where you'll have the Xbox division doing one thing and they won't coordinate with the Windows people. And then the Windows people don't want to coordinate, like the specific Windows teams don't coordinate very well with the Microsoft Office teams and whatever, okay? I didn't work at Microsoft, but I've read many books and stories about how Microsoft has regularly had this fragmentation issue. And the fragmentation issue is just basically a way of saying, hey, like, we're so big, we have so many different departments. We have like departments for different departments that it basically makes it very difficult for us to have one unified strategy for how to move the company forward. It to me sounds like that is exactly the problem that's happening at Volkswagen. Volkswagen is not a software company. They're a legacy auto manufacturer. They've produced like over 90 different vehicles. It's absolute insanity. Now, I mean, people want different choice for vehicles. I get that. But what this is a signal of for Tesla is that Tesla is once again unique by being a from the ground up startup company that is focused on technology, software, autonomy, and electric vehicles. They are a company that can continue to innovate where everybody else can't even get on the same page with what to do. That is a big key right there. That's a big takeaway. Tesla does not have the fragmentation problems of legacy auto. It doesn't have the fragmentation problems of even a company like Microsoft, which is still a great company. But it goes to show the real potential of Tesla is still ahead, not behind. Just producing vehicles is not the real potential of Tesla. It's the software and how quickly we can update and adapt autonomy, the apps, the website, the sales processes. Honestly, I hate to say it, but it's kind of like having a little bit more of like a dictatorship as opposed to an old school oligarchy. Okay, Elon's kind of like the dictator, whereas you got the old school oligarchy at the legacy companies that are like, well, this is not how we do things. Our department, we said we want this, and this department wants this, and this department wants this. And I can be angry German because, I was born in Germany, so I can mock that. But anyway, Tesla doesn't have that problem, and it's an advantage for shareholders. Apple is very similar in that sense, in that they have such strong leadership that they can unify the company in one direction, even though they have a ton of different teams and departments. Microsoft hasn't done it as well as Apple has, but Tesla stands unique here. And I think that's why Tesla is one of my favorite investments going forward, especially at the prices where we are now, even the $800 range. To me, I don't even think about selling Tesla until we're 1,500 to 3,000, maybe 1,500. You stop adding kind of thing, and we get to like 3,000, 4,000, something like that. Obviously, we know we have a split coming up, so we'll have to adjust that for those numbers. But beyond that, it's not even a consideration for me to trim that position. I'm still building it. I'm about 3,500 shares away from where I want to be at 30,000 shares. Folks, thanks so much for watching. July 28th, the coupon expires for programs on building your wealth. Get all my perspective. You're the first to hear about everything that's on my mind. Live streams every day. I'm in the office when I'm not traveling. I do my best while I'm traveling. And we'll see you soon, folks. Thanks for being part of the community. We love you. Bye.